2, 1.
Yeah, Mad Daddy Giggle in the land of the grand. Lots of stuff jumping here on hand. Join me where the wolfbane flowers. Bop and hop for 2.5 hours. Mellow jello jive that really swings. Fly with me on Vampire's Wings. That's a crazy one. You get the word? That's a new Rennie Hall record called Thunderbird. Here you are in the land of glee, flopping and bopping at 10:03. You know exactly where you are, tuned to Radio 85 on your wavy gravy jar. Yeah. Tell us, Bubbles, of Ooh-Blah-Dee, what kind of record this jukebox gonna be? Yeah. Yeah, brand new record, it really rocks. You know the title, that's Jukebox. Well, Fiddlesticks, it's 10:06 here in the land of the Grand. A crazy show. Well, that you know. That is exactly what we planned. Here in Oobla Doody Land, Floppin' and Flappin' can make it happen. All the cats are really flying. Mad Daddy Giggles Jiggles on the loose. Let there be laughter. None of that crying.
Roll up, Sally. Yeah. Roll up, Sue. Yeah. You bring Jim. Okay. I'll bring you to the bandstand. To the bandstand. Music's the most with the real cool home. The chicks are cool and the cats are too. And everybody there to do a top hit too. At the bandstand. At the bandstand. Oh, well, come on with me. Don't waste no time. We're going to a place gonna have a good time. The music's the greatest, the record's the latest, and everybody dancing to the top. At the bandstand, at the bandstand, at the bandstand, at the bandstand. Swing it, Annie, swing it, Jed, swing it, Joe, swing it, Mary. Now everybody dancing all day at the bandstand. At the bandstand. Let's go. Real cool tune, vibe that blue. Everybody dancing to the top of this tune. At the bandstand. At the bandstand. At the bandstand. At the bandstand. Come on with me. Don't waste no time. We're going to a place gonna have a good time. And everybody dancing all day at the bandstand. At the bandstand. Well, a pony Maloney, begging Sue, and lose your hand, will be there too. Chances are that you can't stop. Come to the bandstand and learn the pop. At the bandstand. At the bandstand. At the bandstand. At the bandstand. Crowd in the heart, mob in the ball. Now everyone's invited. Come on, come on. Jumping all day at the bandstand. At the
Yeah, coming and jumping, simply grand. Everybody swinging on the old bandstand, rocking great and rocking fine. It's just between 10:08 and 10:09. Everything here is in rhyme, and for 2.5 hours we're going to have a frantic time. Crazy, sure. Never dull as long as my little light goes winky blink inside my great big thick skull. We bubble the records in the vat of oobla-dee, making crazy wavy just to see what kind of hits these records going to be. Here's a mellow sound. Let that vinyl spin around.
Oh, bop, doo, bop, shooby, dooby, doo, bop, oh, bop, doo, bop, shooby, dooby, doo, bop, oh, bop, doo, bop, shooby, dooby, doo, bop, oh, bop, doo, bop, shooby, dooby, doo.
Well, there's a drive-in on the corner, and there's a bar working there. She's the beautiful doll that I ever saw, any place or anywhere. She gave me service with a smile, service with a smile, and then she called me honey child. She gave me service with a smile. Well, I've been drinking so much coffee my head starts spinning. And when she walks, my heart gets filled. And when I realize what's before my eyes, I start giving her bigger tips. She gives me service. And when she call me honey child, she give me service with a
Yeah, well, 10-11 and odd be heaven, and there's a record just my style. The cufflinks bopping service with a smile. Yeah, this is the show with that crazy wavy feeling. Rockin', reelin', and hanging from the ceiling here in the land of Oobla-Dee. Matt Daddy Giggle Jiggle with all the glee. Now, here's a sound, neath a witchcraft moon, that could be the nation's #1 tune.
One more scalp.
What? Apache, you watch that record climb. That's one of the biggest sounds. Man, that gives us a frantic time. Sparks go flying underneath my wig. Apache is bound to be big. 10-14, old Peachy Keen, here in the land of the grand. Mad Dad Giggle Jiggle, thumping and jumping, something here on the Mellow Jello stand. For Lenny and Bill and Cherry and Bob and Spawn and Space and Sabota and Brooch. For Heinz and Sheppy and Windy and Lou and Leroy and Johnny and Don and Rebel and Sandy. We're going to spin a Peachy Dandy for the whole gang and rock and bang for Leo Pizza's house on Storer Avenue. Also, this goes out to a guy who digs the jive, for Mike in Cleveland, who is ape over Carol in Bedford, and for Johnny and Jim and Don and George and Bob and Pat and the Drag Ones. And also for a cool cat who asked for dedication fun by letter for Claire Acker and Terry Scullin and Doc and Bill. From the great St. Ignatius, from someone who would like to go there. Also play the sound for Cliff and Ethel, and go for Ginny and Bob, and turn the crazy wavy knob for Molly and George and John, and move on for Mary Lee and John, and Foxy and Green. Here it is now, Peachy Keen, also for George B. What kind of record this one gonna be? Yeah!
I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. And then the witch doctor, he told me what to do. He said that... I told the witch doctor you didn't love me true. I told the witch doctor you didn't love me nice. And then the witch doctor, he gave me this advice. He said that ting tang, bing bang, ting tang, bing bang, ting tang, bing bang, ting tang, bing bang. You've been keeping love from me just like you were a miser, and I'll admit I wasn't very smart. So I went out and found myself a guy that's so much wiser, and he taught me the way to win your heart. My friend the witch doctor, he taught me what to say. My friend the witch doctor, he taught me what to do. I know that you'll be mine when I say this to you. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bing-bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bang-bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bing-bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bang-bang. You've been keeping love from me just like you were a miser, and I'll admit I wasn't very smart. So I went out and found myself a guy that's so much wiser, and he taught me the way to win your heart. My friend the witch doctor, he taught me what to say. My friend the witch doctor, he taught me what to do. I know that you'll be mine when I say this to you, oh baby. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bing-bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bang-bang. Come on in. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bing-bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bang-bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bing-bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bang-bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bing-bang.
Well, that was a crazy thrill by David Seville. Witch Doctor, I wonder who that other cat might be. Here in the land of Oobla-Dee, 1017, as we move on and toward the Mellow Jello Dawn. Here's dedication fun for you out there, frantic one, from Mad Daddy Giggle Jiggle. As we go whipping and dipping and flipping and zipping and flap-lipping. Yeah, crazy short, never dull. Lights going winky in my skull. Flapping and clapping to make it happen for the kids at Kathy's party. And the rest of the freshman class, especially Stubby. For Ron Conley from his girl Barbara, and for those mad cats at the crazy mixed-up Collinwood Chess Club, who had an outing at Squire's Castle out on Chardon Road. And for Linda and Keith and Ed and Pat, and here's the sound to knock 'em flat for the Big Gun in California. For Panic and Whale and the West Park Syndicate, and for Don and Karen and Barb and Jerry and Gary and Cheryl and Jim and Guess Who. And we're going to Scooby-Doo for the Whale and Ed Brown and Joyce Fitzgerald. Yeah! Mellow Jello, we got a barrel. Here we go!
Machine age. I put a dime in here, I push a button here. The needle stops making tracks for some red hot rockin' wax. Out comes roller, roller, rock, rock and roller, roller. Baby and me, we're having a spree. Oh yeah. I put a dime in here, I push a button here. I'm digging that crazy sound as the bottles come rolling down. Out comes cola, cola, ice cold cola, cola. My baby and me, we're having a spree. Oh yeah. Some people go out dancing. They spend a lot of cash for fancy drinks and big name bands and a place with a lot of flair. Yeah, I put a dime in here, I push a button here, smiling and licking our lips out of the side. A photo picture, out comes photo, photo, man, dig that photo, photo. My baby and me, we're having a spree. Oh yeah. Some people go out dancing. They spend a lot of cash for fancy drinks and big name bands and a place with a lot of class. Whoa! I put a dime in here, I push a button here, smiling and licking our lips out of the side. A photo picture, out comes photo, photo, man, dig that photo, photo. Baby and me, we're having a spree. Oh yeah. Hey, Joe, let me have a quarter, man.
Well, I just spent
30 cents. Oh, well, it's time to go home anyway. Oh, hey, give me a push, brother.
Careful, man, careful.
All the rage, teenage machine age, lots of fun, and the time is just about 10:21 in the first hour of power. All the R&B in full frantic flower as we go rocking and reeling and hanging from the ceiling and answering letters from you out there. Remember, we can giggle, we can jiggle, we can bobble, we can blast, but without that mail, the show won't last. Here's a blast for Roger and John and Louie and George in the convertible and Eddie and Duncan, who we'd like to have back. This from Dex Blair of the Barberton Drag Masters. All right, we got another crazy wavy blaster for A.J. O'Donnell and Dan Sullivan and Larry Urbanek and Dave Dunn and Bob Lemon and Al Bossert and Jim and Paul and Jim and Tom and Bob and Ed and Mike and Jim and James of St. Ed's, and for Ron Keppen and the Juniors, and for George Heinendry. And also we're going to flip-flop and fly for all the dragons at St. Philip and at James, and especially for Clem Cadiddlehopper and Marty McMagpie, Wally Walnut, and yours truly, Dracula's great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter. All right, and also for Sharon and Mike and Pat and John and Pam and Bob and all the Del Airs and Gary and Kathy and Claude, Mary and Joe. We're going to let the gravy flow for Cynthia and Butch and Cheryl. Yeah, we got gravy by the barrel. Yeah.
I love a good practical joke. You know, this whole thing started when my crazy buddy Melvin hooked a smoke bomb to my car. Bluey. Boy, I love a good practical joke. So after I pick up the hood of the car and throw it in the trunk, I whip over to the post office to drop off the package for Melvin. Boy, what a package. Took me 3 hours to get the Excelsior wadded in just right so you wouldn't know there was a live cobra inside. Boy, was he surprised. I love a good practical joke. Next day, I hear from Melvin with a bang. I guess he was pretty sore about that snake because in the middle of the night, he paints out the white line on the road that goes past my house. And he paints another one right up my driveway through the living room, and pow! I hear this big noise, and there's this diesel truck roaring through my backyard wearing my bathtub for a radiator cap. I love a good practical joke. And you know, Melvin's nuts about golf. So I sneak over to where he plays, and I grab his golf bag out of the locker. Get this, I cut holes in all the balls, and I hollow them out, and I fill them up with nitroglycerin. Boy! What a drive! Pow! All of a sudden, from hole 1 to 18, one big sand trap. But I didn't stay one up on old Melvin long, boy. Oh, what a mad cat he is. He gets this lion out of the zoo, and he shaves off all the mane, and he chains it up out and back to Rover's house. Lucky I caught the gag before the lion caught me. Too bad about the mailman, though. I love a good practical joke. You know, Melvin uses an electric razor, and here I am hooking high-tension wires from the third rail on the train tracks that run by where he lives. When he comes home to shave with 6,000 volts, boy, will he be burning. Hey, what's that green smoky stuff coming in under the door? Poison gas! Man, that Melvin's done it again. Man, I love a good practical joke.
All right, for April Fool and all you ghouls out there. More of the Jive at 1025. Round sounds, and all of them rare. We wouldn't put them on the air in the land of Oodla-Dee, and that's exactly where you be as we go. Rocking and reeling and hanging from Judy and the kids from Brooklyn. Also burgers, and for Harry the Pill Pusher, and for Gene and Jim and Hap, from Guy and Dell and Jimmy, and for all the kids at Horace Mann. And we've got a mad master plan for Gopher Gordon and Big Marcia, for the Terror of Clifton Park and Bob Hartford, and for Bob and Ronnie, and Doug and Kathy and Bob Dempsey and his ever-loving, and for Ken and Lorraine. Thumping and jumping, man, that's plain. Yeah, slipping and sliding. Here's that greasy glider. Doc Stark and Apple Cider.
Cider.